Everywhere I go, bitches always know.
Yes, sir.
Gentlemen, he's real. He's not just a fucking AI on the computer.
Fucking real, baby.
He's fucking real. We're here in Dahlonega on the casting couch.
Yes, sir.
First in person with Joey. Hopefully one of many. But we're here. We're just gonna fucking rip it. Joe, how you been?
I've been good, dude. Been good.
Yeah?
Loving life.
Loving life?
Yeah. Yeah, other than that, just doing school and doing the fucking guard and yeah, moving out here in a couple months. Moving somewhere else and
He's moving to Utah. I've sold him on Utah. He wants to ski.
Not moving to Utah. I'll come visit Utah, but I'm not gonna.
I'll accept the visit.
Yeah, I'm not planning on moving there. Unfortunately.
That's gay.
Sorry.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
Yeah, it would
It'd be a lot cooler than...
Yeah, it would be, but you gotta convince Mary Catherine, not me.
I'll fucking convince her, dude. I'll be like, hey, I'll fucking come and kill your dog if you don't.
Okay, yeah.
If you don't move to Utah.
Yeah, that's gonna be the deciding factor to make her
That's
be
that's gonna make her like me more.
Yeah, that's gonna make her. You know what? You're right, Zach.
Yeah, you're right. Good. You know, I really never thought of it that way. Actually, you make a really good point.
Yeah, no, I definitely plan on visiting Utah. You know, once they're done with school and stuff, and I have more time to visit. We want to go up there, see her grandparents, and from what it sounded like, they live. What?
North. It's like
an hour
and a half north of me. Hourish. Probably,
yeah.
I think hourish.
Yeah, so could make a 2 birds with 1 stone type of trip.
Fucking
have to go
rip some slopes, dude. If
I would say have to go
the right time of year.
Yeah, have to go in the right time and yeah, so I can go pull some scorpions and just
scorpions.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, scorpion. Yeah,
where
fucking
your back legs come up, or your head stays
down. Yard
down.
sale, dude.
Yeah.
You gonna ski or board?
I feel like I'd be better. I don't know. I know you say skiing's easier, but I feel like boarding would be easier.
It doesn't like the only thing that transfers over from like skateboarding and like all the other board sports is like the balance aspect, but it's like completely different.
Yeah, I mean,
like fucking using your edges on the board and shit.
I have more experience with being on boards like waterboarding, skateboarding than I do skiing. I like, as many of y'all can't believe, the first time I ever ice skated was here in Georgia. Like, it was like me
from Minnesota.
Yeah, from Minnesota. It was like me and Mary Catherine's like one of our dates that we did when we were first starting.
Where'd you go?
The Civic Center.
Oh, they have it there?
Yeah. We went there and tried to skate. Mary Catherine just assumed that I knew how to skate, and then we get on the ice and yeah, she saw it firsthand. But I picked it up pretty quickly. But I'm just
skiing is. I was almost like ice skating.
Yeah. Yeah. But I was never a rollerblader, roller skater type of person. Never went to the roller rink hardly ever. So yeah, I don't really have experience like with that. So that was the first time, and I ate shit about 30 times.
Dude, yeah.
And then people would pass me going like 20 miles per hour, cut right in front of them. I'm like, jeez. And then I'd start doing the wobble, and then I'm like, oh
shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember my first time fucking ice skating. I was like 8. And I went it was like my fucking crush's birthday party. And dude, it was so embarrassing. I was like holding onto her dad's arm the whole time. Dude, I could not ski to save my life, or skate to save my life. But I ate so much shit.
Well, like, she always asked, she's like, you never ice skated? Like, whatever. And I was like, first of all, I live up north, it's always cold. The last thing I want to do is go out in the cold even more.
Cold,
yeah, and like, I did roll like in my, I'm gonna say 7th grade, like gym class. We had like 2 weeks where we did roller skating.
Okay.
And, you know, you had your like elbow pads, but you didn't have knee pads. They have knee pads, and we're going on like the hardwood, like, you know, gym floor, whatever. And bro, the amount of times that I ate shit and my knees would bang off of the fucking thing. My shit was so bruised, and I'm like, fuck this. This is so stupid. Which you would think I'd be good at, because my mom used to be a professional, like way back when, professional like roller skater.
Roller derby?
No, not roller derby, but roller skater. Or
no, dude, your mom did roller derby.
No, she didn't.
Canon, though.
Yeah, but no, she was really good, and yeah, I just didn't pick up the trait. I don't know. But,
yeah, no, I wasn't very athletically coordinated.
No, I saw
Still kind of suck.
I saw that firsthand when we were getting ready to do the Turkey Bowl.
Dude, yeah, no, I can't. No, I don't do those kind of sports. I can do like adventure sports. Like I can ski now. Like I'm good at that. I can fucking. I want to get my free fall. Like that's I think the next thing I'm gonna do. because the buddy that I just met, fucking Joe Metzer's his name, Voodoo Air LLC, down in Moab. He's a skydive instructor. He's got like 3,000 jumps.
Shit.
He's fucking insane. He broke his back on one now. And it's like, dude, like, I don't want to do that. And he told me, he's like, yeah, it was because I was doing something dumb. I'm like, all right, cool. I just won't do anything dumb.
Yeah.
Because statistically, it's like not even dangerous statistically. Like,
no, like compared to like getting in car crash and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, granted, like, you know, not all, but a lot of car crashes, you know, there's a solid chance that you'll still be all right, unless either you're doing something stupid, like you're going like 120, yeah, like you're doing 120 miles per hour type of shit, or like some, you know, thing happens that is out of your control, or you're not wearing your seatbelt or some shit. But for most time, like, you know, the odds of surviving a car crash, even though they're more likely to happen, is a lot higher than some incident or accident happen when you're skydiving.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, like, and now if you want to talk about accidents, like with skydiving, like, yeah, you could, you know, maybe have a malfunction and then you have a reserve, or, you know, you just land and break a leg, right? But I'm talking like the consequences are a lot more severe.
That's fair.
Yeah, let's say you're shooting open up and, well, you know, we're probably not going to survive that, you know?
You're burning that shit in, dude.
Yeah, but...
Cool, well, we're going to try and keep this like 45 an hour. But one of the things I want to talk about, and we've done a video on it before in the past, and then we've, you know, answered everyone's questions on the lives, but I wanted to do, this was going to be its own video, and I figured I'd just rip it with Joe, but like actionable steps that you can take as a Ranger Private when you show up to be squared the fuck away. So that when you show up, your team leader doesn't fucking treat you like a complete sack of shit. It'll still happen, but we want to try and mitigate that. And this will apply too across the board for, you know, just regular Army units, but it's going to be geared towards being a Ranger Private. So,
yeah, you're always going to be treated like shit as a new guy, but yeah, being squared away can definitely minimize it and excel the process from going from being treated like shit to being respected.
Yep. So one of the things, I was falling asleep one of the other nights and I was thinking about this kind of shit. One of the things I think, first of all, like, you're going to get a fucking knowledge packet. You're going to get handed this fucking stapled collection of papers that's going to have everything you need to know on it. And ideally, you're going to have some Ranger Privates that are going to square you away and like teach you exactly or show you exactly what you need to really memorize on there. But first thing is know your weapon system. Like, know every single little detail about it, down to, you know, the fucking feet per second, the velocity, like all that stuff, because you're going to get quizzed. Know the twist rate of your barrel. Know the weight, obviously. Max effective range.
Definition of a fucking battle drill. Collective action rapidly executed without applying a deliberate decision-making process. Boom, I still remember that shit.
Thank God he fucking got it on his first try. I was going to be like, all right, we got to cut.
Yeah, cut it. All right,
cut it out, redo. Yeah, like, just, like, there's a lot of, know the whole knowledge packet, right? Know the whole thing, have it with you, memorize it, because it still applies even after you're a private. Like, when you're going to the fucking E5 board, you're going to get quizzed on shit. Like, I think I got asked, like, what's the field of view on your nods? 40 degrees, you know? Fucking shit like that. How many screws are in the Carl Gustav? I don't remember that one.
No,
I didn't know that one.
Look, there's shit that you're obviously, you're going to forget, and there's stuff that you're kind of, I mean, let's be honest, some of the stuff in that is kind of pointless, right? To some extent, right? But a lot of it is good knowledge, right? And it's always good to know. But the main purpose of like studying that knowledge packet or knowing all this shit isn't just to be like, hey, like, you know, I know what the weight of an M4 is, or I know the definition of something, right? Like, you know, does it, if you know what a battle drill is? Okay, like, why do you need to know the definition? It seems kind of pointless. Well, the whole purpose is to show your leadership that you give a fuck. Like, that you care, like that you know the shit, but also that you're willing to put the time and effort to study it and to fucking learn it, right? And so if, you know, someone tells you, hey, you know, here's a knowledge packet, study this shit, learn it, and you're like, okay, and then you just fuck off and don't, that it's almost just like a disrespect, like, all right, you don't give a fuck, you don't want to be here, right? So by studying it, it proves like, hey, I do want to fucking be here. It's knocking out two birds with one stone. You learn shit, you become knowledgeable, but you also show everybody that you're there for a fucking reason, and that you give a shit, and that you want to be in fucking regiment or fucking whatever unit it is.
Yeah. I would say make a couple copies of it too, because chances are you're going to lose it at some point, and or your buddy might lose it and he's going to need it. Just keep a couple fresh copies, like, as soon as you get your fucking knowledge packet, just in your wall locker. The other thing, this is kind of like across the Army as well, but having a really good I Love Me book. So what an I Love Me book is basically like a big binder, like a 2-inch binder, where you keep every single piece of paperwork the Army has ever given you ever. Because when you show up to your unit, you're going to be in processing and you're going to be asked for a bunch of copies of different shit. Like your SGLI, your orders, make copies of your orders, keep copies of all your certificates you get. So like when you graduate basic and airborne and fucking RASP, have those in like the little sleeves. Don't 3-hole punch your fucking certificates. Put them in the sleeves and keep that shit. You know, you have to keep it at work because you're going to need it semi-regularly. But you want to make sure that you have copies of just about everything and to never give out your original and to keep it organized. You know, you can organize it by fucking orders and awards, and don't lose it. I still have mine and I'm out. Like,
yeah, I still got all my shit over in the fucking bedroom.
Yeah.
All that shit in there. Yeah, Mary Catherine, she's like, "Can we get rid of some of these papers?" And I was like,
"No, I need the special papers."
To be honest, probably some of that shit is like my ERB from fucking 2018. But
you're like, not gonna need that.
But at the same point, it's like you never know when you're gonna need that shit. At least for me, like I'm still
you're still in,
so it's like applicable. I'm keeping all that shit and until you're done, until I'm done, and then like
maybe you can go through it. But like even after you get out, like you should keep copies of your awards. You know, keep copies of your deployment orders and shit like that, so that if everyone ever checks you, like it's like, no, motherfucker, like I got the paperwork, I got the receipts, bitch.
That's right.
Obviously, most of that's summarized in your DD-214, but we're not going to worry about that because that's post-career. We're talking start of your career here. The other things that I would fucking recommend, dude, I had a whole list in my head and I just brain dumped them. I should have written them down.
I'd say the one that I think was the most apparent for me was being good at fucking PT. Like, there's basic level things that are kind of expected of you that when you get to regiment that, you know, your team leaders and whoever it may be, your tabs team leaders, fucking squad leaders, etc., shouldn't have to micromanage, just shouldn't have to fucking work. In one of them being PT, like, you know, especially in regiment, but just along lines of military, right? You're coming in there, you obviously have to do the PT test, right, when you're at basic multiple times, right? And then if you go through the regiment pipeline, you have to do the PT test at airborne school. And then you have to fucking do this shit at RAS, right? And pre-RAS, right? So, like, it's a basic level thing that you have to do throughout the military is pass the PT test. But, you know, obviously, if you're going to somewhere like regiment or fucking whatever unit, you know, the common saying, exceeding the standard is the standard, right? So, you know, the basics, I don't know what the bare minimum. I don't know what the bare minimum on the ACFT for a lot of this shit is. I know, like, I think for the push-ups now, it's like 10 push-ups. Really? But, like, yeah, for the metronome push-ups, fucking, it's a minute.
Is it metronome now? I thought it was hand release.
Oh, yeah, hand release, you're right. I know it used to be they changed it, but the knee tuck, they changed it to the plank, but the knee tuck was 1. The plank now is like, depending on your age, it's like a minute 30 to like a minute 50 ranges. Like, but you shouldn't be
That's funny because that's like harder, I think.
No, it is way harder. But here's the thing: is like everybody can at least do a plank now, depending on how long. But there's a lot of people when that knee tuck came out, surprisingly, like
funny.
That you can either do knee tucks or you can't do a single one. Like, and it was very apparent. Whatever, but you shouldn't strive for the bare minimum. It's like, oh, I can meet all the minimums. Like, no, you should be going for the maxes on everything you can. Now, the ACFT is harder to max than the regular PT test, but you should be getting
disagree.
At least for me. I've never maxed the ACFT.
I've gotten close. I never maxed it myself, but it was like, if I had like gotten my running up a little bit, I think the running was
I mean, I maxed everything but the run, but also I've only been taking the ACFT since I've been in the Guard, and I quite frankly don't
give a fuck. Yeah.
But yeah, you should be striving to get the max on everything. And when you get to regiment, you know, part of your job or the military, part of your job is to be physically fit, right? Not just, I mean, most people that come, more so for regiment, most people that come have some type of either athletic background or just they're not fucking someone that sits on their fucking Xbox and plays Call of Duty for fucking 12 hours and then decided I'm gonna go join the military. Like most of them had some type of outdoor activity or whatever shit, And most people that come there too are 18 to 21 years old and fucking prime fucking shape
Peak
of their life
testosterone.
and stuff, and everybody wants to fucking work out because they want to get the girls and shit, but also like that's part of your job. And if you show up to regiment and you can't run to save your life, or you can't fucking lift a single fucking pound of weight because you're fucking weak, like, now you just put more burden on your fucking team leader. Now he has to write a PT plan. Now he has to fucking take you to PT every day because you can't fucking, you don't know what the fuck you're doing, or you don't know what. So by having a good, you know, PT test score, or just having an overall well-rounded, like, you know, strength and cardio type of format, I guess I would say, will greatly excel you, because that's what it did for me. I mean, I'm not the smartest, I've talked about before. I'm not the smartest, right? It was a strong ranger, not a smart ranger, but I was able to get the what do you call it, to go to cert, one of the spots to go to cert like 2 months after I got to regiment, because me and this other guy, we were the two highest PT test scores out of all the privates that took it in first battalion, and so we got the 2 slots, the battalion slots. So then we opened up 2 more slots for our company. So we were able to go within 2 months. Now, granted, I had other things happen, whatever, but yeah, I was able to go within 2 months, and I'd only done like 2 training events with you guys. But you guys were like, this dude's top-notch fucking PT test. He's fucking competent, somewhat. Like, he's still an idiot because he's a private, but if we tell him to do something, he can do it. And so, like, that was easily able to fucking excel my part of the career as being a fucking private. So.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much a given. Small things. Being on time, 10 minutes early, in the right place with the right uniform. We don't really need to elaborate on that one. If you're late, like, it's just going to be a bad time. So don't be late. And
not even just that, but if anybody that outranks you, your tabs, your team leaders, your squad leader, if anyone is there before you, you're fucked up. Yeah. Unless for some reason they decided to sleep in the fucking cage that night. Like, yeah, you're fucked up.
Yeah, the standard for us was 30 minutes before work when we were privates. And we'd go into work, we'd start cleaning the cough. We'd clean it before the end of the duty day, and then we'd clean it at the start of the duty day, so it was like not too hard to clean in the morning. But yeah, you'd show up 30 minutes early and be fucking hanging out, reading your knowledge packet, mentally preparing to get your fucking soul snatched on a fucking death run. Another thing that is, I don't think we've talked about this really, but like just like the interpersonal relationships between the squad. So I'm gonna elaborate. When you're a private, you're not gonna know what the fuck is going on, and you're gonna want to ask questions. Do not ask your team leader fucking questions first. Ask a fucking ranger buddy, a private, hey, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, here, how do I use this piece of equipment? How do I do this? How do I do that? Where are we going? Just try and solve your problems at the lowest level first before going up. And then, you know, if the other privates can't solve it, you know, collectively go to one of the tabs and be like, hey, you know, specialist, like, we need help with this. Can you fucking help us? And then he's going to, you know, be more inclined to help you than if you just went to him directly. And for God's sake, don't immediately go to your team leader and fucking start asking him for dumb shit. Hey, Sergeant, where's the 550 at? Like, you do that shit, and you're fucked. Additionally, solve problems at the lowest level. So, like, if you are in your squad and you fucking recognize, hey, like, you know, minor shit, like, hey, we're out of 100-mile-an-hour tape. Go find some, you know. Do you have anything to add on that? I feel like there's more to be said.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there usually always is, like, that senior private guy who's probably been there, who's probably getting ready to go to Ranger School. Like, that'd be the first guy that I would go to if I had any questions. You know, or, you know, let's say you're in a scenario where there isn't any of the fucking other privates around, right?
Go to another squad.
Yeah.
That's when they're asked their privates.
Yeah, or, you know, if you're good with your tabs and you don't have a fucking buddy and it's something maybe a little bit more serious, right? Then you can ask your tabs, and obviously that doesn't mean you can't fucking ask questions to your team leader, squad leader, right?
Yeah.
But there's the basic level shit that like he was saying, you know, we need more 550 core. Don't be asking your squad leader, hey, where's 550 core? Fuck no. Now if there's an actual, like, you know, legitimate question that you have, maybe about something with what you guys maybe just did, like squad live fire. You guys just did a squad live fire, and you have a in-depth question that you didn't really understand completely. Well, it'd probably be good to either a tab or a team leader ask something like that, because, you know, not only is that showing you that you give a fuck, you want to know more, but, you know, they probably can give you a better fucking description than some other private, you know.
Yeah.
So there's things, and you should be able to have common sense and understand those lines of shit that you can bring up to your team leaders and your tabs, team leaders and tabs, and there's shit that you keep and you fucking talk to the privates. And that doesn't mean, too, if there's some fucking wild shit that just happened, right? Like, you just fucking, I don't know, crashed a fucking striker or some shit, right? As you were trying to fucking move it out of the motor pool. Right? That's not something you fucking try to talk to your fucking buddies about. You go bring that to your fucking team leader immediately.
Bad news doesn't get worse with time.
Yeah, that's not a fucking, hey, where's the fucking 550 cord? That's, hey, Sarn, I just fucking crashed the goddamn striker. And don't fucking wait. Even though you're going to get fucked up no matter what, more than likely, right? It's better to you're going to get fucked up a little bit less than you would have if you fucking held it up.
Tried to hide it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Quality of life shit. So when you first show up, you're probably 9 times out of 10 you're a fucking dude right out of high school. Maybe, 4 out of 5 times you're a dude right out of high school, right? You don't have fucking shit to your name, so you're gonna be living in a fucking barracks room with nothing. Find a private buddy and go fucking get some fucking wall decorations. Do not be living in a suicide room, because we do room inspections and we go in a room with a guy and he doesn't have fucking shit in his room but whatever the standard issue furniture is. Like no TV, no fucking bitches, no nothing. Don't have bitches in your room, but you know what I mean. You don't have anything in your room and it's just the fucking white walls. Like, that shit's depressing to go home to at the end of the day. So it's like, dude, do what you can to liven up your space. Get a fucking plant maybe. Like, get a rug.
Doesn't mean you gotta go fucking take your entire first paycheck and go buy fucking a bunch of shit and whatnot. But like, accumulate over time. And there's shit, I mean, like, that's what I did when I got done with the Ranger call. I was like, I really want a fucking couch. Yep. And so I went to Facebook Marketplace, found a good couch for $75 and fucking got into the barracks. And you slowly add shit over time, but especially right when you get there, add some fucking color to the goddamn room. That doesn't mean go fucking paint it.
Don't paint it. There's some guys that have painted their rooms though, which you can do. And it looks fucking nice. And they like put like flooring down.
Yeah, you could do
that, but it's not necessary.
Yeah, and you have to undo it.
And then you have to undo it when you leave. So it's like, is the juice really worth the squeeze? I just put a bunch I liked flags. I had like flags all over my room. A couple posters and shit, but I also had way too much shit. I was a little bit of a hoarder.
Yeah, you had a lot of shit.
I had a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Still have a lot of shit, but my room at least didn't look like a suicide room. Get like a rug, because the floors are like fucking, tile flooring, so kind of shit. Get something like an outdoor rug that's like easy to clean. Don't get something nice because you're gonna be walking in there with shoes on a bunch of times, but have something nice. Get a nice shower curtain. Fucking,
yeah.
Don't be living like a fucking weirdo.
What I did is the first time we finally were going on leave, I flew home, and then my I had my car back up there, so I ended up driving it down.
Yeah.
I just packed my car up with like, my parents bought me shit, like almost like a housewarming gift type of shit. They bought me, I'm like, hey, I need towels. I fucking need some good towels, and they fucking all that shit. And then I literally loaded up in the car, drove down, and then like I took a bunch of my clothes that I had left there, obviously before I left, my clothes, shit that I obviously couldn't bring with me, but shit that it's like there's no point in it being at my parents' house now, especially if it has use to it. So I brought that shit with me, and then that's how I kind of accumulated a lot of stuff.
Yeah. On the topic of clothes too, go out and buy some fucking nice shit. And this could probably be a video on its own, maybe a little bit more geared towards fashion, but go out and get some normal fucking nice people clothes, because you are going to be interacting with your platoon outside of work. And you don't want to show up in fucking gym shorts and a fucking ratty ass graphic t-shirt from Target all the time, right? Go get a nice pair of jeans, maybe some slacks. Some of the stuff you will have to have for uniforms, like the roughs and the smooths and the slicks. But you want to go out and get some just basic fucking plain t-shirts, some fucking polo shirts, a couple fucking flannel button-ups maybe. And, learn how to dress yourself, because you will get judged when you come into work looking like a fucking bum. Granted, a lot of dudes still do that, and it doesn't really fucking matter at the end of the day, but like when you're a private, impressions do matter. So if you're rolling into work with fucking, your ratty sweats from fucking high school wrestling and shit in a fucking stained hoodie, like people are gonna be like, oh, this guy's a fucking bum. Like he's dressed like a bum, we're gonna assume that he's gonna act like a bum. So your appearance does play a fucking factor into how you're kind of treated and looked at and when you first show up. So yeah, get a buddy, go to the fucking mall or whatever, get some fucking halfway decent clothes. You don't need to drop a fortune on this either. Like, again, like, you're not gonna be making a whole lot of money as a fucking Ranger private. So, you know, be smart. That's another thing too, is be smart with your fucking money. Like, we didn't ever have any guys that like did any like dumb shit, like buy a Camaro at 26% interest, but
we had someone buy a fucking truck.
Who was that? I don't know if you can name him without naming him. He's still in. He's still in.
He was part of the E4 Mafia with me.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, last name starts with an S.
Yeah. Yeah. Rustler boy.
Yeah. Yeah, don't fucking, just don't go out and blow all your money. Honestly, I wish I would have
live as cheaply as you can while you're in the barracks. Like, there's dudes that have saved up. There's one guy that got out and he had like 50 grand saved up because he would steal fucking toilet paper from the coffin shit. Yeah. You don't need to do that, but...
Yeah, if I were you guys, especially, because you're not making a lot of money, but you also don't need to go spend a lot of money. And what I wish I would have done, like, 2.5, 3 years before I started doing it was the money that you get, like, make a budgeting account, and this is coming from a fucking finance guy here.
Yep. Here we go.
And I would fucking...
I've never budgeted a day in my life, dude. That shit's gay.
I would literally put a good amount of money away and invest it. You know, and
well, yeah, you have the TSP, so you could fucking allocate it and fucking let the government invest it if you're fucking too dumb to learn how to day trade like Joey.
Yeah, or yeah, whatever. Just invest your money or whatnot. That way, one, you're not fucking touching it, right? You know, if you got $2,000 in your account as a private, right? And I've heard it so many times. You go down to fucking downtown on a Saturday, right? Because you just got smoked by your team leader that week. You're pissed off. And you want to go get fucking pissed drunk. Next thing you know, you fucking just spent $300-400 that night, and you do that the same shit Friday night as well. Yeah. And next thing you know, half your paycheck's fucking gone from just getting pissed drunk downtown Savannah or where the fuck you go. Yeah. So like putting that money away, like yeah, you can obviously pull it back out and then go spend it, but that's a lot more shit, and more than likely you live like you're poor, right? For the years that you're a private and stuff, right? You're gonna save up a good amount of money, and then you can go fucking do whatever you want after. But
buy a car if I can be able to afford a nice down payment on a legitimate car, so it'll help you keep your fucking monthly payments low, all that good shit. Let's transition over to like training event stuff. So when I was a private, you know, aside from the normal packing list and stuff, there was some shit that I would always bring with me to either increase my quality of life out in the field or like out on a training event, or you know, be an asset to the team. So I always had like 100 feet of 550 cord with me. You know, you'll usually pack out a good amount in the squad box, but I always had a personal stash of 550. I always had a personal roll of 100-mile-an-hour tape, a couple extra lighters, you know, multi-tool, plus maybe an extra multi-tool, and then the little S carabiners. They're made by Night Eyes. You can get like a fucking keyring of them and have a bunch of these little tiny metal carabiners for tying down your nods, for fucking tying down shit on your weapon. Like if you have a 3x, like I would just clip my 3x into my fucking, the rest of my tie downs. And they're small and you're gonna lose them. So have a fucking, you know, maybe a couple packs of those. Cause your other fucking private buddies are gonna probably lose theirs too, and they're probably not gonna be squared away like you, cause you're watching this video, and you'll be able to help them out. And avoid all of you getting smoked for losing a fucking piece of equipment in the field because it wasn't tied down.
And you'll make your team leaders, your tabs, your squad leaders happy.
Because they're going to lose their shit too, and then he's going to be like, your squad leader's going to be like, hey, who's got a fucking S-beaner?
And you'll be like, I do.
Sorry, I'm squared away.
And he's be like, fucking good shit.
That's not to say you don't be a fucking like suck up and like brown nose.
Well, and that also means that when you have all this extra shit, right, that doesn't mean going around to the entire platoon, hey, I got extra this, anybody
yeah, because everyone's going to clear you
Everybody's going to fucking clear you out, and then you're not going to have anything left, right? Yeah. So focus on keeping it within your fucking squad, right? The other squads, like, get fucked.
Get fucked.
Your private should have done that shit, you know? And now if a fucking one of the other squad leaders comes up and be like, hey, I heard you got a fucking extra S-clips. Yeah, okay, don't tell him to fuck off. Give him one, right? But don't announce it, right? Fucking keep it internally within your squad, and yeah, they'll fucking love you for it. But speaking of the topic on fucking shit to make your life, like, better, like, you know, whatever it may be that you bring out to the field, I will tell you this, like, rough it. You can get advice from your tabs or whatever, but rough it for the first time or two and fucking kind of scope it out and see what people bring, right? and don't just fucking send it and like go bring some wazoo fucking shit your first time out in the field, and you got a fucking
big ass chair and all
or
this
a
shit.
big fuzzy fucking blanket that you brought with or some shit like that. Dumb shit. Yeah, like once you're in like long enough, you know, it was crazy. When it was like last it was like 2 years ago, right? I went out to the range. Oh no, it was the first time I went out to the range in the guard. And I know what the fucking range day, we're gonna be out there for 4 days, people have to qual. I knew what it was gonna be, right? So I brought my fucking chair, right? I brought my chair, and yeah, so we get out there, and I fucking pull out my chair, and I sit down. Everybody else is standing, and they're like, "Oh, dude, you brought a chair?" I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh, I didn't know we can bring that." I'm like, why the fuck not? Yeah. Well, why the fuck wouldn't you bring a chair? Like, so there's a lot of common sense that just goes over the head, right? That you learn over time, like with shit, like you know what a range day is going to instill, what you need to bring, right? You know what a squad live fire is going to be, what you need to bring, you know, all that shit. But that comes with time. But you know, for the first like time or two, scope it out. You can get advice. Hey, can I bring this or whatever? But don't just like, you know, show up and bring a fucking Eno and set that bitch up. Whatever, like, you know, you don't want to stand out already as a private, let alone fucking stand out.
Yeah, this reminds me of a shoot house we did, and this is relevant. And one of the privates, he brought one of those blue can trainers out. So if you don't know what that is, it's basically just this fucking blue tube that, you know, screws onto the end of your gun to simulate having a suppressor on. And he was running that shit in the shoot house, which honestly, looking back, you know, good on him. However, he drew so much attention because he had it, because he was the only one that had it, and it was like a piece of equipment that wasn't issued, and it's not very, you know, it's not very cheap either. So it was like, dude, why did you bring this out? Like, good on you for wanting to train, like, you know, like you have a suppressor on the end of your gun, but it did catch him a lot of unwanted attention. So when he did fuck up in the shoot house, people were already watching him because of the fucking can, and then he would fuck up, and then he just caught extra fucking flack. And I remember smoking him for that shit. Well, it wasn't because of the can, but it was because he was fucking up. But people saw that he was fucking up because he was drawing unwanted attention by kind of doing the right thing, but also kind of not looking like everyone else.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. And
he's a good dude. Like, he's a stud. But.
Yeah, don't, and that's another thing, especially as a private, right? Don't be going and buying a bunch of fucking gear shit, right? Like, extra mag pouches and all this other shit, like, you know, to deck out your kit and all this other shit. Like, you're giving shit at riff for a reason, right? And obviously, as you get more in time and stuff, you can, if there's something that you're like, hey, I fucking really want this, like, this will help, sure, do it. But as a brand new private,
ask your fucking team leader, though, because he's probably a fucking gear nerd, likely. Yeah. And he's going to be able to tell you, hey, no, that's a fucking shit piece of quality kit. Like, don't buy that. Buy this instead.
Yeah, especially because, like, more than likely as a private, you're carrying the litter in a fucking 320 or whatever it may be, and like you don't need to have all these fucking cool pouches on. You don't need to have a back panel where you can fucking put a hoolie tool or anything, because you're not gonna fucking do that shit.
Yeah, you'll be carrying the hoolies as a private. But that's a good point. Like, you have squad pouches. Like, your squad is gonna have a whole bag of fucking extra pouches that are like just assigned to the squad that you can put on your kit and use on your kit too. So like, you don't really need to fucking go and buy fancy ass shit right away. You can get by with what you get at Riff. Like, it's really solid equipment, except for the new grenade pouches. Those things fucking suck. Thanks. I fucking hate the new grenade pouches. We had Eagle Industry pouches forever, and then the contract switch or some shit. We turned all of our fucking nice Eagle shit in and got a bunch of bullshit.
Fucking plastic.
Well, the plastic ones were kind of cool, but like, I'm talking about just the fabric one.
Oh,
it was it was like regular Army issued shit. It was fucking gay. And then I've just been seeing all the fucking old Ranger kits just pop up on eBay and shit. It's like, dude, like, just let the men keep it. like, get fucked. Like, why do we got to turn this shit in? It's gonna get destroyed anyways. Like, let the men keep the pouches, issue the new ones. Tangent, but other quality of life things. I would get fucking allergies like a motherfucker when I was out in the field. Like, especially if we were camping overnight, because you're just sleeping on the ground. So I would bring Benadryl with me to the field. So if you know you have a fucking allergy issue, bring something to help, you know, make sure you're not clogged up and fucking sneezing all the time. The standard issue sleep mat is kind of trash, so I'd recommend getting a fucking Thermarest or a fucking like regular camping fucking sleeping mat to bring with you to the field and to bring with you on deployment. So for sleeping on the fucking bird, sleeping in the field, all that good shit.
Yeah, I'd say one of the things that I think I got told, I don't know who told me it, probably a lot of people, but one thing that I always took is if you can't carry it, you don't fucking bring it, right? And also, if you can carry it, but it looks fucking stupid, then you don't fucking bring it. So, like, those big camping chairs, right? Like, yeah, okay, maybe you can carry it on the side of your ruck, but if it's bigger than your ruck and it looks fucking stupid, then don't bring it, right? You get a small little chair, right? And, you know, you can bring shit. Like, I always bring out with me now, I bring, like, this fucking small memory foam pillow. A lot of guys will bring the one that you can blow up, right? Because, like, you know, that's way more comfort than using your fucking laundry bag and packing clothes and shit, right? And as long as you can carry it and it doesn't look stupid, it's not just flopping outside of your fucking ruck or anything, you can pack it in there, like, yeah, there shouldn't be any fucking issue. However, like, always run shit. If you aren't sure, run it by either the other privates or your fucking tabs before. That way, one, you're not just carrying a bunch of shit that you end up not being able to use because you get told you can't before or after. And, yeah, I would just say that. But
yeah. Moving on, I think that it's good to make friends with the privates in the other squad, as well as privates in, like, the commo cage and supply. And don't be a fake friend. I'm going to preface that with this or with that. But make friends with them because they're going to be the hookup for shit like batteries or fucking, you know, 100-mile-an-hour tape, 550. We keep mentioning that because you do use a lot of that stuff for arts and crafts, Ranger arts and crafts, which we don't need to launch into here, but you'll be making fucking products in, like, you know, flaming rocks or, you know, shit for live fires, and you're going to be going through a lot of that material. And, you know, if you have a friend in the commo cage or in the supply room, they'll be able to hook it up and get your squad what you need to help you out. You know, makes you look a little good and so on. So be nice to those guys. Be friends with them. Don't do it just to get their fucking nice shit. Be a legitimate homie to them. And they'll help you square your way when you're in dire need of something important from supply. And they'll also hook it up too, like when they get new shit in, they're like, hey, we just got a bunch of new mags and come trade your fucking old ones out or something like that too. So they're pretty good guys to have kind of in your pocket.
That's how I was able to get the Battle Lab.
Yeah?
Yeah. I got told, and I was like, hey, I know you've been looking for Battle Lab. Whatever. One just came in, so one just fucking dropped theirs off or whatever, turned theirs in. And I got it and fucking got it. Next thing I know, like 10 people were trying to fucking figure out where the Battle Lab was, and I was like, I got this shit already signed for.
I already got it, bud. It's already on my hand receipt.
Yep.
Can't take that.
Nope.
Yep. So that's another one. Fucking dude, there was one that I was thinking of. Do you have anything? I'm gonna try to remember what it was.
Well, I would just say, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but don't do anything stupid outside of fucking work. Like, don't go fucking drinking and driving. Like, it's a common thing, and it sounds
talked about that a lot.
It sounds so obvious, dude, but like that will get so many fucking people, and you're like, bro, why? Like, how the fuck? You know, don't be fucking doing cocaine. Don't be fucking. Don't be going to swinger parties. Don't be fucking. I mean, if you want to, sure, go ahead, but bro, like, you know, there's no point.
It's more trouble than it's worth.
Yeah, don't be fucking in drinking and driving. Like, that shit will. I mean, that shit will get you kicked out so fucking fast. And all that shit, all that time, effort, fucking, that you spent to get there, and then fucking one fucking instance of drinking and driving, you're fucking done. Yep. So, you know, there's no leeway with it. I don't care if you're fucking first class fucking snuffy, or if you're fucking, you know, starting first class or like.
Starting first class snuffy.
Yeah, starting first class snuffy. Like, you pop for drugs or fucking get a DUI and some shit, like, your ass is fucking grass. Done. So, like, don't do anything fucking stupid. Yep. You know?
Caveat. I hate that fucking word. Girls, be careful. Fucking, there's a lot of, we've talked about it in previous videos, there's a lot of Rangerettes out there who've got all kinds of fucking nasty diseases. Stay away. Even normal girls, right? Like, I would recommend probably not hopping into a relationship too quickly. You know, don't just fucking shack up with a girl because you slept with her. Take your fucking time, get to know her actually, because you're going to be in a relationship and she's going to have to deal with your ass deployed on training cycles, you know, off in the woods, making triangles in the dark and shit. And you want to commit yourself to a girl who's going to actually fucking be willing to stick around for that kind of shit. Joe got lucky off the gate. He was fucking in a relationship basically when he showed up.
Well, no, but I met with her on Tinder as I was in processing to regiment, and yeah, but I mean, we talked for a while, FaceTimed, you know, hung out a couple times, like, here and there, but you know, we realistically didn't start dating until like almost a year after we started talking. But you know, I played it slow and kind of did almost like a whole training cycle, went to Ranger school and all that stuff to kind of put everything to the test and see, you know, if I'm gone for 3 months with no communication, is she gonna fucking still be there and whatever. And after I got done with school and she was still there waiting for me, then it was like, all right, we're fucking good to go, good to roll. But yeah, I got kind of lucky, to be honest.
Yeah. Freaking damn, dude, I really wish I wrote this shit down. I had a whole bunch. PT uniforms, have a bunch of them. Like, go out, and that is one thing that you should probably spend money on, is have like 5 sets of PTs, because you're gonna fucking use them every single morning. You're gonna get sweaty, and you don't want to have to fucking A, reuse a shirt, or B, have to do laundry in the fucking middle of the week if it's a fucking long week. I had like fucking 5, 6, maybe 7 sets of PTs. Like, it's worth the money. You're gonna be wearing them a lot.
I'm just trying to think of other shit that I wish like I would have
known. Yeah.
I wish I would have known. That would have greatly.
Be funny. That helps. Don't be fucking weird. Don't be weird.
Yeah, everybody.
If you like weird shit, kind of keep it to yourself for a little bit until you kind of figure out the personality of the squad. You know, don't be coming in like, what do you do for fun? Oh, Sergeant, I really like anime. Like, dude, shut the fuck up about that until, you know, people actually like you, because that's not going to do any favors.
Yeah. No, you'll find yourself, especially because you're more than likely you'll be young, right? And, you know, these guys that you're working with, right, are going to be almost like, without sounding weird, like father figures to you, sense. Like, your team leader is going to be kind of like a father figure to you, especially if he's your team leader for a hot minute, right? Like, and so even if you got your weird shit that you like, I guarantee you that you're gonna end up taking off of some of their fucking hobbies and habits and shit that they like. Like, for me, right, I was never really a big gun guy. I mean, I went hunting before and stuff, but I never owned a gun before, and I wasn't a big gun guy. I never went out really shooting or anything. And now, you know, just from being there and whatnot and having buddies and all that stuff, like I got my own guns and got my own fucking kit and all that shit, just because it's something you kind of pick up, whatever. So, but I mean, we all got our weird shit that I guess we like to do, but yeah, don't be fucking telling your team leader if he asks you what you like to do. Oh, I like to watch anime, or I like to play fucking, I don't know, Mario Kart, my fucking Wii that I have, you know. Now, if I could say, hey, I play Super Smash Bros, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, but
First squad Smash Bros tournament, dude.
Yeah, it almost just like read the fucking room, you know, like. And you know, don't
have people skills. Like, learn how to talk to someone and have a normal conversation. Like,
no, that doesn't mean fucking just try to joke and smoke with them, right? Like, you gotta fucking kind of let them lead with something like that, right?
Yeah, but if they're leading out with jokes and you got a fucking zinger to throw in, you know, do it respectfully, because that shit's funny.
Yeah, exactly. But don't be fucking weird.
Don't be weird.
Yeah, don't be
tough.
Don't be a quiet fucking mute that feels like you're a fucking serial killer.
Yeah.
Type of shit, because everybody's gonna think you're weird, and then they're gonna fucking start talking, and then you're just gonna get dicked down for being fucking weird.
Yep, and then it's hard to get away from that.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I think that's all pretty solid. I'm trying to think of anything else. If you don't have a car, make friends with someone with a car, because it sucks having to walk around everywhere. Yeah, no, I didn't make friends right away, so I was like stuck in my fucking barracks room and taking Ubers and shit, which sucked, until I got a car and made friends with people with cars. So yeah. And for your first car, honestly, you can buy something shitty. Just buy a used fucking car. Have one of your mechanically inclined friends, because I'm guaranteeing you that there will be one in your squad. Have them come with you to check the car out. Make sure it's fucking good to go. You don't need to be going buying a new car, especially if it's your first car. And a lot of the times you can get a fucking, you know, banking with like Navy Federal is really good. USA, you know, military geared fucking kind of banks. Like I bank with Chase. I've been banking with Chase for a while, but like the bigger or like the national kind of banks are usually going to be a little better, because you'll be able to find a branch in your area too. Like, if you got an account with like, you know, your local credit union from home, like, that's fine, but open up, you know, something that's a little bit more national too, because there will be times where you'll need to go to the bank for something, and if you don't have your local credit union in your area, you're kind of fucked. So yeah, have a solid bank account. That should be done before you get in, honestly. Like, before you join up. Just open a fucking Chase savings account and a fucking checking account. You'll be good.
I'd say one thing that, you know, I kind of did it with learning about the stock market, investing and stuff, but, you know, obviously until you get your tab as a private, right, really focus on, like, just because you're off work doesn't mean that you still can't fucking, you know, do some form of fucking training, whether it's, you know, reading the fucking Ranger School handbook, preparing for Ranger School, fucking, you know, going to the cage and fucking practicing, you know, whatever the fuck it may be. Like, you know, if you want to exceed past your peers, yeah, if you want to,
you don't need the arms room for.
If you want to exceed past your fucking peers, right? Like, and you want to get your fucking tab as fast as possible. Well, just because you're done for the day at work doesn't mean that you can, you know, that you just you're done. There's nothing else you can do. But I would say after that too, and furthermore, like, find a fucking trade, find something to fucking, you know, learn about and fucking become good at, right? It doesn't have to be investing or fucking whatever, but find a hobby or something that, you know,
you can maybe make a little side money off of later.
Yeah, or, you know, a lot of guys fucking go take online classes for school, right? Something to, like, continue to progress and further yourself. So, because let's be honest, more than likely most people, right, who go into the military, like, they don't do 20 years, right? A lot of guys will do one contract, right? Maybe two, and then call it quits, right? And then they get out of the military and they don't have fucking anything. They don't know what the fuck they want to do, right? So start fucking looking around. You know, when you have a lot of connections with a lot of guys, right? Like, find connections, find something to do. Whether it's fucking, you know, going and learn and play a fucking instrument or fucking, I don't know, some type of shit, right? Or you do research online. I mean, there's so much shit out there now, but, like, go find a hobby or a trade and fucking learn. You know, if someone's really good at something, right, like mechanic wise, right, fucking, you know, ask him to fucking teach you some shit, right?
Yeah.
Or if something happens with this car and he's like, yeah, I gotta go fix this, whatever. Well, can I come and fucking help out or watch, whatever, learn? Like, got nothing better to do. You're just hanging out in the fucking barracks, right? So find a trade and fucking make use of the time that the downtime that you have there, as well as, like, you know, looking at shit in the fucking future. Because a lot of guys, when they get in the military, you know, it's this and that's it, right? And yeah, that's great and all, right? But if you're not doing 20 years, you know, if you're not doing it for the full time, if you're doing just one contract, then, you know, you're kind of wasting a lot of time that you could be used fucking to set yourself up for the future life outside of the military. Because more times than not, I mean, no, it's facts. You're not going to be in the military longer than you would be out. Like, more than likely, unless you fucking die.
Unless you die.
Yeah, unless you die. Like,
even, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, like, even if I fucking did 20 years here, right, I get out at 39 plus or whatever.
You still got half your life ahead.
Yeah, and then I'm just stuck there with, like, oh, I don't know what the fuck to do now. You know?
Oh, man, I think that's pretty solid.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm trying to put myself back in young private shoes, young Zachary fucking showing up.
I would just say another thing too, and I don't know how close, you know, it's all different, like, hypothetical based off of, you know, your own personal life and stuff, but, you know, it's one thing that I'm doing a lot more now, but I was really bad at, and obviously because you don't have your phone a lot during basic and whatnot, and, you know, for RASP when I went through, you didn't have your phones and shit like that. So, but I would say keep a good communication, or keep good communication with your family and everything back home. A lot of guys, and it's why I think a lot of guys, you know, not a lot of guys, but guys will get depressed, or guys will fucking, you know, end up getting out a lot of times sooner than they would have, because, you know, something's going on with family or whatever. So, like, keep good connections and communication with your family. FaceTime them, talk to them, right? It kind of is a breath of fresh air, like, you know, especially being a private and a new guy. I remember fucking every day after work, I'd fucking call my parents and just kind of tell them, you know, how everything is going. Now, that doesn't mean fucking start snitching and be like, oh yeah, this fucking guy, blah, blah, blah. But, like, you know, talk to them and tell them how everything's going, keep them updated. And it kind of feels nice to have someone who has no connection to this to kind of, like, you know, de-stress and talk to someone about it. Because, you know, fucking, you're not going to go tell your team leader and bitch about him fucking smoking you, you know? But you can talk to your parents and be like, yeah, shit's just fucking sucking right now, whatever, but it was nice to talk to my family, you know, after a long week of just getting fucked up and stuff, and talk to them and, you know, bullshit and kind of take my mind off of things, and then I could come in the next week fucking refresh, rejuvenated, ready to get fucked up again, you know?
Yeah.
So keep good communication with your fucking family folks and stuff back home.
Ooh, I remembered the last thing. This is very niche, but like your squad is gonna be assigned. Sorry, that was a really good point. I was gonna say something to that effect as well. I would call my parents, at least once a week, and fucking, just let them know what's going on. So your squad is gonna have assigned gear. You're gonna have like platoon assigned gear, as well as platoon assigned vehicles and squad assigned vehicles. For the gear wise, like first squad, we were in charge of, what did we have? That was like the special shit. It was like fucking ropes kits.
Yeah, we had the
we had the range box.
Yeah, the range box.
We had the range box.
That's what it was, the range box.
We had like
those big ass fucking ladders.
We had the ladders. Yeah. We were ladder squad. So your squad is going to be assigned platoon level equipment, and you're going to be using it for layouts and shit. So to be really squared away as a private because chances are it's going to be you that's going to be laying this shit out, more likely than not, under the supervision of a tab or a team leader. Know where all of it is, know the nomenclature for all of it, so that when you are doing these layouts, they're a little less painful, and then know how to keep them secure and keep them organized when they're in storage. So like our squad, we had the ladders, so we had a bunch of these fucking, modular ladders that we'd use for, objectives and shit, and there was all these little tiny pieces for them all. And it was always a fucking bitch laying them out, but we were able to store them in such a way, like we stored them in, I think, the platoon cage for a lot of it, or in the Connex. But be kind of autistic about keeping track of that shit, because one, if you lose parts of it, you're gonna have to dump your cage and fucking find it, or you're gonna have to go fucking try and find it somewhere else. So if you're able to maintain accountability of every little piece for whatever kit you're assigned, like second squad, they had the breaching kit, so they had a bunch of hooligan tools, a bunch of freaking sledgehammers, the fucking quickie saw, like just a bunch of dumb shit. But it's a problem if you fucking lose any of it. So keep track of it, and then if some squad does come by to fucking borrow a piece of equipment, even if they only say it's for a little bit, we had the DeWalt kits too. Even if it's for a little bit, make them sign a fucking hand receipt, because chances are shit's gonna get busy, someone's gonna forget to fucking get that piece of equipment back. Next thing you know, it's a month later, you're doing layouts and you're fucking missing a DeWalt battery, and you're like, where the fuck is this other DeWalt battery? And if you have the hand receipt, you can go to the fucking person and be like, hey motherfucker, where is this piece of shit? And if they fucking lost it, it's on them because they have the hand receipt.
I would caveat off of that too, and I would say, make sure you keep, you're gonna get a fucking cage or wall locker, right? Like, make sure you're accountable for your own shit too. Keep your fucking wall locker clean, nice, know where everything is at, right? Because more times than not, right, you're gonna be given a time hack to get your shit, whatever the fuck it may be. And if you're fucking digging through a whole hot fucking mess to try to find, I don't know, a compass or some shit, and a fucking big ass fucking locker, and it's just everything's thrown around, right? You're gonna fucking fail it, and you're gonna get smoked, right? You don't know where your shit's at. Keep it fucking tidy, organized, so you know where everything's at, and so you don't fucking lose shit, right? Because if it's all just fucking jumbled fuck, right? And then you're like, oh, that's weird, I can't find fucking, my fucking compass or whatever shit, I don't know what's happened to it. Well, probably fucking got lost, probably someone's other wall locker, because they fucking thought it was theirs because it was on the fucking ground because you didn't keep your shit tidy. So keep your shit fucking clean and tidy and organized.
That extends beyond being a private. We had some team leaders that their shit was literally just strewn from one end of the cage to the other underneath the table. It was just a fucking mess. So some ways you can organize. What I did is you can get those like back of the door shoes organizers. And they just have a bunch of little pockets on it. So for like all your little small shit, like your fucking bump cards, map markers, magazines, freaking headlamps, batteries, like all the little tiny shit that's like you need to keep track of and need to have on hand for fucking stuff. It's just nice to have it organized in the fucking doorway of your wall locker. Get a clear one. Don't get a fucking like an opaque one. Because I had a clear one, I could see exactly what was in every single one of these pockets. And then what I did for like pouches and stuff, I had like just small clear plastic bins that I would just fucking keep stacked on my shelves. So it's like, oh, I need a fucking grenade pouch from this one. I just take it out and I fucking dig through it and find it. So I'm not like digging through bags necessarily, because sometimes you're going to need your bag for something else. And then I had kit bag. This is something nice to get that's not issued. But like a standard aviator's kit bag, those things are really solid for just being able to throw all your fucking range shit into one bag and to be able to pick it up and fucking go to the range. So your helmet, kit, gloves, fucking safety tether.
I still use mine.
Yeah, I still fucking use mine when I go to the range. It's a little bit of a life hack to fucking have one of those. Makes deploying easier too, because it's like you can just put all your kit related items in that bag, goes to the ready room, stays in the ready room, and you're fucking golden. And you have more room in your D bag or your fucking ruck for, you know, comfort items or fucking personal shit. A lot of guys didn't have the kit bag and they just have their kit fucking buckle up and they just throw that shit in the fucking what are they called? The pallets. The pallets, and it'd just be loose, and it's like mags are gonna jump out of it, like all this dumb shit. So get a kit bag worth the fucking $40 or so that they cost. Get a genuine US issue surplus one, preferably new. Write your fucking name on it big in Sharpie so that no one mistakes it, and you'll be golden. Range stuff, like if your squad is in charge of the range box, like each platoon has a range box, you're gonna have targetry in there, you're gonna have staple guns. This kind of goes into what we were talking about earlier with the platoon equipment, but you're gonna be in charge of keeping that shit nice and organized because you're gonna be using it a lot. So if your squad is in charge of it, you know, the whole platoon is gonna be getting out of it, but try and be the guy that like keeps it organized throughout the course of the training cycle, so that it, you know, you have exactly what you need on hand. So you're not out at the range and realize, oh fuck, like we're out of staples. You're fucked. You're gonna get fucked. Don't do that. You know, keep up to it. After you finish like a range week or so, you know, during the next week, you'll probably be told to do this, but you know, go restock it. Go freaking make more copies of targets. All that good stuff. I think that's really fucking all I wanted to cover, to be honest, when it comes to this shit, man.
Yeah.
Like, some of it's been talked about before in other videos, but this was a little bit more in depth and a little bit more nuanced stuff that I feel is useful for a Ranger Private, a new Ranger Private, because a lot of it is regiment specific. I don't know how the big army works. I've never been there, so take what you will if you're big army. It's all still pretty good advice for any new private that's going to show up to whatever unit.
Yep.
So, you got anything else to add, brother?
No, I would just say, yeah, if you take anything that we said, if you take most of the stuff that we just fucking said, you'll be just fine.
Take notes. That's one thing too.
Yeah.
Get a fucking I don't know the name of the notebook, but they're like these little green, they're like leader notebooks, I think is what they're called. Get a little green leader's notebook. If your squad leader doesn't fucking tell you to get one, or your team leader, go to supply and get one of them, and that's going to be like your fucking knowledge. It's going to be partnered with your knowledge packet. Every time you get a class, take as detailed notes as possible in that thing. I still fucking use mine when I make my lethality videos. I still go back and reference fucking classes that I got fucking 6-7 years ago, because of the information. That shit is invaluable, because you're not going to be able to learn directly out of the Ranger handbook. You're going to be getting, chances are, classes by your team leader or tab, and he's going to be able to tell you shit that's not in any fucking book. So keep notes of that stuff, because eventually you're going to be that team leader or tab, and you're going to have to be given the class. So anything that you learn from the guys before you, fucking soak that shit up like a sponge. Like, take notes. Fucking take pictures of the fucking drawings that they do if they're good. You know, obviously not if they're just shit. But like if it's a really intricate fucking whiteboard class that the guy gives you, be like, hey Sergeant, can I fucking take a picture of this before, you know, before you erase it? That doesn't say that you don't take notes, because you learn the best by writing shit down. But if it's like a really solid one, you want to like copy it over later, and you know the class is moving quick or whatever, get a picture of it. Like, always be fucking ready to take notes. And that's part of the uniform too, is, you know, note and pen paper, or note material and a fucking pen for your duty uniform. So be ready to, that's the other thing, is just be ready to fucking learn, and always have a good attitude about learning, even if it's a fucking class you've gotten 100 times. Like Battle Drill 1 Alpha, you're gonna get that class like every fucking week, basically. Maybe not every week, but you're gonna get it a lot. And there's something that you can learn, even if it's something you've heard before. You know, someone will explain it in a different way that makes something click for you.
Yeah, well, and especially like with Battle Drill, like, you know, or any of the Battle Drills, right? You look at it, right, and you're initially going to get taught, and you're going to look at it from your perspective,
as
right?
a private.
But,
yeah.
You know, as you learn it more and more, right, you kind of have to start thinking what the fucking saw gunner is doing, right? Because if once I get my tab, then I'm going to be a saw gunner. So what is his job? What is he doing? Where is he going to be
your
going?
job and the fucking 2 levels above.
Yeah, and then the team leader. Well, you know, it's a lot different. A squad lifer is a lot different for a fucking Bravo team leader is than for a fucking Joe Schmo private, right? And same thing, squad live fire is a lot different for a fucking squad leader than it is a team leader, right? You guys all have different roles, right? So obviously know your role first, right? Whatever, but also know the roles ahead of you, know the roles above you, because let's say, you know, especially in training, they do it all the time. They kill off one of the fucking team leaders, and now that tab, right, that's in that team, he's a new team leader. Well, I hope you fucking know what you need to do, right? Yep. I hope you know what your team leader needs to do instead of just following him and holding his fucking pocket, right? I hope because now you got to fucking tell these dudes what to do, and you're the team leader, and now you have to do the team leader's job. So, yeah.
Cool. I think we can wrap it there.
Nope.
That was solid. If you got fucking questions, drop them down below. If you're watching this the day that it's released on the 13th of March, we're going to be going live tonight for just a little bit and answering more questions or fucking anything else you guys got, hanging out, getting fucking a little toasted on fucking live stream. So we'll see you there tonight. Joe, appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
We're going to go fucking down to Savannah this week and fucking go hang out at the fucking parade and shit. So, you know, if you see us, say what the fuck is up, Ricky. I haven't met anyone that's followed me on Instagram or fucking YouTube. I haven't been recognized out in public yet, which is nice.
I'm probably fucking afraid of you.
They're probably afraid of me. They're probably like, oh shit, that's that one guy. That's fucking crazy.
Fucking weirdo.
That fucking weirdo, dude.
Yeah.
Alrighty, thank you, gents, and we'll catch y'all next time.